What's up, everyone? Welcome back to another review, and I'm going to give my quick thoughts on The Disaster Artist, directed by James Franco, starring James Franco, Dave Franco, and Seth Rogen. Of course, The Disaster Artist is pretty much a movie about the making of the infamous film by Tommy Wiseau, The Room. Okay, quick fire thoughts. James Franco crushes this movie as Tommy Wiseau. He is a splitting image of Wiseau. His mannerisms, the way he talks, the way he moves his body, and the rhythm of his speech patterns. You can clearly tell Franco studied Wiseau to a T, and it's when you're watching Disaster Artist, you can almost swear that you're seeing Tommy Wiseau on screen. James Franco did a tremendous job at losing himself in the role. Phenomenal job. It was great. Of course, you have Dave Franco playing Greg Sestero, Tommy Wiseau's real-life friend who also co-starred in The Room. And, Dave Franco did a great job playing Greg. I like the chemistry between the two characters in the movie. You really get a sense of the friendship that they had, that they had in real life, and they continue to have today. And the Franco brothers played really well off one another. Very impressive. They had pretty damn good chemistry on screen. And I think the fact that they are brothers in real life, and they're playing two people who are like brothers in real life as well, that really played off really well in their performances. So, and of course, the relationships between Greg and Tommy is one of the strong points of this film that carries the entire narrative, and it was done really, really well. You got Seth Rogen in this movie. He has a nice little role as a guy called Sandy something. He was like the script supervisor. He was hilarious in this movie as well. You have, you have a slew of other supporting cast members. You got Paul Scheer, who was in this movie as well. He was funny. He has this really funny scene where he and Franco Wiseau just go have an all-out argument because Franco kept putting down the woman playing Lisa in The Room, and he just kept berating her, and then finally Scheer's character just stood up to Wiseau and just started cursing him out, and it was a fun scene. The movie is shot fairly well. I like the cinematography. They really do a good job at capturing everything. Franco's direction is spot on. He did an excellent job for a movie, and this is the first movie I think he even directed, and he did phenomenal. He did great. I like his directing style. He knew what he was doing. He got everything he needed, and it was great. Like I said, everyone in the cast did a good job. The story is really, really cool. It's a really, really good story. Of course, no one really knows. Of course, it's not like a true telling of the production of The Room. This movie is based off the autobiography made by Greg Sestero, and the movie is pretty much, adapting, the events that Sestero acclaimed in his book. And the movie did a good job of recreating actually a lot of scenes from The Room. The end credits of this movie, pretty much, you see scene next to scene, and it's just so detailed and how Franco and the cast really mirrored, scenes from The Room. It's ridiculous as to how good they actually recreated a lot of those classic scenes. Done fairly well. I like it a lot. Like I said, one of the best parts about this movie is the relationship between Greg and Johnny. We see the formation of their friendship. We see the struggles their friendship goes through. We see the deterioration of their friendship when Greg gets a girlfriend, Tommy gets jealous. Of course, we get this nice little scene with Bryan Cranston. Of course, the scene takes place during the Malcolm in the Middle era, where Cranston offers Greg a job to play a lumberjack because he has a long beard. And of course, Greg goes to Tommy begging for him to do the role. Tommy's like, no, we can't do it, Mark. Sorry, we just can't do it. Or something like that, and of course that also is another, a nail in the coffin of a slowly deteriorating friendship between Greg and Tommy, since Greg missed out on a chance to potentially have a career, get a jump-started career, TV, national exposure, especially on a popular show, and I like that. And of course, at the end. Of course, they reconcile, and and their friendship grows even stronger during the premiere of The Room, where at first, people don't know what to make of it. Then they just start laughing, and then Tommy, of course, is dismayed by this. And then then of course, Greg gives Tommy a heartfelt speech, and then it puts everything in a whole new light for Tommy with the room. And of course, this was what led to the cultural phenomenon of the greatest worst movie ever made. So yeah, The Disaster Artist, in my opinion, did a good job of capturing the story from a certain perspective. The acting is great, the direction is great, the writing is good. I found very little flaws in this movie. Pretty much everything was done fairly well, and it was, if not well, excellent, which is why I'm giving The Disaster Artist a 10 out of 10. If you have not seen this movie, definitely check it out, and it is definitely one of the best movies of 2017, in my opinion. So yeah, those are my thoughts on the Disaster Artist. Like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll check you back next time for more.